So I'm just gonna get straight into it. This is a story time partaking to Are Armies in fact crazy? And judging by my experience, to a certain extent, a huge amount of them are in fact crazy. And I'll tell you why. So, I like Jimin. And I get a lot of shit because I like Jimin. And I'm just gonna start it off like this. I joined the fandom 3-4 months ago, possibly, and I was warned that, hey, ARMY's crazy, BTS fans are crazy. And I was like, possibly, but I'll join anyway. So I joined, and instantly right after I joined, I already realized that a majority of the girls are more for the appearance of the guys and not exactly them. So I just instantly discluded myself from, if that's a word, I just pulled myself away from ARMY immediately after I noticed that. And I started being like my solo type of person, like, hey, I'm not an ARMY. I don't have to call myself ARMY, or I don't have to label myself a Jimin stan to exactly like Jimin or listen to Bangtan. And I just looked at that like, it's normal. So, I didn't notice the fandom was this fucking insane, but I took to Twitter right when I started liking Jimin, and I used to write like little poems and things about him because I was new. It was a little new crush. So you wanted to sound cute. You started talking about how we can have dates to the park and things like this. And mind you, this was 4 months ago, at least. So, I was still in school at this time, so it was possibly May that this started. So I wrote my little poems and my things, and I just looked at it as cute. I posted one picture of Jimin saying, hey, why couldn't he be a pedestrian why couldn't he be a pedestrian that you could just run into in the streets, and a lot of people started commenting and reaching out like, oh my god, you like Bangtan, you like K-pop, oh my god. And it actually got me a lot of attention because I guess it's shocking that I'm a black girl and I listen to K-pop, right? And so I was like, okay. So I posted a picture of Jimin talking about the cute things that we could do if we were ever to date each other. And it got over 202 likes. So, people actually liked it. Oh my god, you guys are so cute. I ship you guys. Oh my goodness. Jimin's my bias, but you seem like you're looking for well. You seem like you're looking to make him happy, so I'll give him to you and shit like that. And I thought it was nice that people were supportive of the situation. So they used to like seeing the way I posted about Jimin, and I used to continue to write cute little things about him, post pictures or whatever, call him Bubby. I have endless nicknames for Jimin. It's crazy. So literally, people started rolling in, commenting that it was so cringy and they couldn't handle it, and oh my god, they couldn't handle cringing. They would comment shit like, I'm sorry, but I couldn't handle cringing. And it's like, you could just unfollow me. And I started blocking people, and I didn't really exactly target people, like jump at them or say anything back. I just let it be, and I blocked it because I really was like, whatever. So it went from that to more people telling me, oh my god, what makes you think you're gonna get Jimin and shit like that? And again, you should just block it because I was like, I don't give a fuck about what you think about it. So more ARMY started reaching out to me asking me how I was gonna get Jimin, and I explained to them thoroughly that I wrote him a letter, and it was maybe 1.5 pages. But this one Jimin stan came up to me, like she came out to me, asked me what I feel about Jimin. I told her what I felt, and she was being sarcastic and asking me like, oh, how are you gonna get him? Are you gonna go to Korea? And I was like, no. I wrote him a letter. And she was like, oh, I've asked Jimin out all the time. I go to all the K-cons and I've asked him out at everything, and he says no. He's not gonna say yes to you. And it's like, Bangtan has literally only been to K-con, what, twice? I'm not sure. Maybe 2014, 2015 and now 2016, I'm supposing. Not even two. I don't know. But she assumes she's like made it sound like they go to every KCON event ever created in history, and she asks Jimin out every time. And then she asked how they're planning on getting him. I told her I made a letter, and she said, "Oh, my friend is a Jimin stan, and she loves Jimin so much, and she asked him out. She tried everything, and he still didn't say yes." So, but then she was like basically discouraging me, but then telling me like, "Don't let anyone stop you." But then she's like, "Oh, he's not gonna say yes to you. He's not even gonna acknowledge you." So I kind of broke down. I started crying because I felt really stupid. Like, this is an idol I'm talking about. Like, what makes me think I can date him? Like, what is wrong with me? And I ripped up my letter and I posted it because I was getting a lot of shit about it. So I posted it ripped up, and I told people they could leave me alone now. And people started getting emotional for me, and they felt bad, and they were jumping at everyone else, telling them to leave me alone about it and let me have my own dreams. And they want me to go ask Jimin out. They think we're a cute couple, and they'd be happy to see us together because they think that Jimin would be in good hands if we were together. And it got to the point where after 5 minutes, I was just like, and I went back and I wrote the letter, and it ended up being 2.5 pages, because I'm the type of spiteful person where if you tell me I can't do something, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna try my best to make it happen just so I can rub it in your face. And like, so the letter extended because I was adding things in there to make it possible to get Jimin. Like, so I kept that letter aside, and then in the letter, half of it was to Rat Monster and half of it was to Jimin, because I didn't want to seem inconsiderate and say like, "Oh my god, like, here, Rat Monster, read this letter to Jimin. None of it's to you." But my Korean isn't that well. Basically, these fucking petty people would consider me a koreaboo because my Korean's like, I know basic words. I'm learning. I'm writing things down. I'm learning. So, yeah. But I wanted to reach out to Jimin, and I didn't know how else I could besides speaking to Rat Monster and seeing if he could translate it to Jimin. And I included some of it to him, and I included that I was going to give the guys some bears so they wouldn't be offended, because I know a lot of armies will literally label me as one of those fans that just like Jimin and don't care about the rest, because they did that. So after that, the hate just kind of stemmed further and further on to where it didn't even need to be. So I got into it with an army 2 months ago, and it literally led to them rebelling against me and reporting me so much that my Instagram got deactivated. And it started because she came in my DM, and she was telling me she was a sugar hoe, and she's asking me who my bias was. And of course, when you ask me who my bias is, I'm the type of person where I just throw all my feelings out there. It's a habit I need to stop. So I threw my feelings out there for Jimin to her, thinking, hey, this is just a fan I can communicate with. So, specifically, she was telling me I'm delusional for thinking I can get Jimin, and I'm crazy, and she's just trying to help me see reality, and I need to learn how to stay in the fans' place. And even though she wants to be with Suga, she knows her limits. And I was like, you're 13. What are you doing? So basically, it stemmed to the point where I got so pissed off at her because I kept trying to tell her anything's possible. As long as you work, you can get it. And she continued to tell me that I was delusional, so I told her good night. And I made a post specifically telling people, like, hey, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to ask Jimin out anyway. And at that moment, people were, I guess, inspired by me because I was really stern about the situation, and I didn't let anyone stop me regardless of how they felt about it. So, it was like, oh my god, like, I'm inspired by you and things like that. So basically, A.R.M.Y just, So, one of her friends commented on my picture, and she specifically said she's inspired by me, and like, hey, I'm inspired by you, and oh my god, just go for Jimin. I ship you guys so much. I can't see you guys not being together. And I DM'd her because with all of the hate, that was a really nice comment to get. So I was like, thank you, that's really nice. And then I DM'd her again, and she said that anyone who ships me and Jimin are actually crazy. And I was like, you just said you ship me and Jimin and you want me to ask him out? She said, yeah, she was just playing. And I was like, so I blocked her because I wasn't going to deal with it. So then the girl who I had an argument with previously came back, and I guess she was offended because I blocked her friend. And I told her what happened, and she started saying, well, you are delusional because you need to know your limits. And I screenshot what she told me, posted it, and I said, people who live to drag other people down don't deserve to be here. So she took that as a suicidal threat, and she told everyone on her Instagram page that I told her to kill herself. So from that moment on, everyone started hopping in my DMs telling me I need to kill myself because I'm just a cocky Jimin stan, and he's not gonna marry me, and he's not gonna like you, and you have to be Korean for him to like you. Your letter isn't in Korean. How do you expect him to understand you? And oh my God, you're so inconsiderate for making Rat Monster read all of that to Jimin. And I was like, who are you? Who are you? So I'm the type of person where if there's lies or rumors circulating on the internet about me, I'm not gonna sit quiet, and I will speak out and give my piece on it, because it's better to clear shit up instead of just letting it rest. I mean, either way I was gonna get hate, so I might as well have spoken out, right? So pretty much the hate stemmed further and further, and BTS fans tried to start a petition against me. I shit you not, a group of maybe 48 people, they tried to start an active petition to make me stop confronting Jimin about liking him. So they constantly reported me, and I got my account deactivated. They were literally just telling everyone to report me because I'm a Jimin stan, and I think ARMY's crazy, and I don't understand what it's like to be an ARMY, and I don't understand how much it means to BTS and how much it means to them. But I was like, fuck all of you guys, because you guys are crazy, and you need to know that. There's no fucking way that you can step out of your boundaries and play assistant to BTS and then sit here and tell me I'm crazy. While everyone else wants to suck Jimin's dick, I'm just here I'm gonna confront him and ask him out. But apparently I'm so fucking out of this world for asking something like that, or wanting to ask something like that. Okay? So the hate literally stemmed on for 3 months. And it got to the point where I continued to speak out, and I eventually started retaliating back towards people. I have this habit where I know petty people won't listen to you, so I blocked them, I screenshot their insult, and I post it with my explanation and my response and opinion on the situation. And literally, people think I'm so petty because of that. They say, oh, you're petty, oh my God, you can't just tell me to my face. I'm petty, but you come back and forth on backup accounts just to attempt to drag me. You can't drag me, so stop. They're just catching these L's, and they're letting the long end hit them first. They're catching capital L's, and it's ridiculous how many L's they're catching. Because they're young, they assume I'm just as young as them. They're like 12. Literally a 13-year-old came in my DM and tried to tell me where I need to be at. I'm like, I'm 17, leave me alone, thanks. Not to say hey, I'm 17, I'm gonna get my bias, oh shit. But, it's I have a little more sense. So, yeah, the hate just continued on. People were telling me to kill myself, and it maybe 2 months after this, it died down for a week. Then it came back again, because I make reactions towards Bangtan. My followers like my face. Apparently I'm a meme, I guess. My face is meme worthy, so they like the facial expressions that I make. So they asked me to do a continuous reaction every other week of Bangtan things. And I guess the way I portrayed it as if I was really this close with Bangtan. It'll be when jhope says he's your hope, and you're just like, you know, just fucking reaction pictures, shit like that. So it got to the point where ARMY didn't like it. Not all of them, but a good amount of them didn't like it, and they decided to make pages about me and, oh, I'm a koreaboo, I have to be Korean for Jimin to like me. And it got to the point where there was a picture I took where I specifically looked a little Korean, because I had my bangs and I had my hair down and shit like that. And people started assuming like I put on a wig. They started assuming like, hey, she's trying to be Korean, she's faking as a Korean, she wants to be Korean so badly. And it's like, the point because people were telling me I have to be Korean for Jimin to like me, so I posted the picture and I said I can be Korean if I want to. And apparently a lot of Koreans got offended by that. And when I say a lot of Koreans, I mean the Koreans that are associated with Bangtan, of course. And they're, oh my god, you're so offensive, you're a racist pig, oh my god, you're such a cunt, oh my god. And I was like, I was just proving a point that everyone thinks I can be Korean, and I don't exactly have to be Korean to have pretty features for Jimin to look my way, because that's what people were saying. Like, I have to be Korean, I have to have the perfect nose and the perfect face and shit like that to have Jimin to look at me and be like, oh my god, she's cute. And I was like, I can be as cute as a Korean without exactly having to be Korean. But people didn't get that point, obviously, because they're petty. So they started spreading me around as a racist. And fucking craziness. So after that, I got into a Twitter beef with another army, because I decided to go on Twitter for a little bit to get away from Instagram. So there's a girl whose bio was so fucking nasty. I was like, it was like, she has like 5,000 followers or something like that, and she was talking about how she wants Jimin so far up inside of her. She wants him to break her womb, and she wants to bear J-Hope's children, and it was so disgusting. And someone else retweeted it, and that's how I saw it. It was like in my timeline, so I screenshot it and I posted it, and I said, I'm getting hate every single day for liking Jimin, but there's people out here supporting shit like this. And of course one of my petty followers saw it, and she sent it to the girl and made it seem like I was dissing her. So the girl came to me in my DMs on Twitter, and she was like, oh my god, did you steal my bio? I was like, I just used it as an example to prove a point, but I'm sorry for invading your privacy. And she's like, no, you diss me. And she made a post about me saying I'm disrespectful and I'm disgusting, I'm ugly, and my attitude is just as ugly as my face. And she was sending people to my Instagram page to see all the shit I say about Jimin and things like that. And she really portrayed me like I was a fucking crazy ass bitch. Like I say things so out of hand about Jimin. Like, at first that post was, hey, I want to go to the park with you, I want to, but then it was just like me more talking about how much I appreciate him and how much respect he deserves and how much respect he doesn't get, and he deserves a lot more than what he's getting. And I would call him, like, you know, Sour Patch, I'd call him Rice Cake, call him shit like that. And I know some people would think that's completely disgusting and creepy, but fuck you guys, because I don't give a shit. And basically the girl started a giant fucking feud, and all of her Twitter followers started coming to me on my Instagram. They were commenting snakes, people were threatening me, they were asking for my location so they could find me, and I'm like, find me for what? What do you want to do? So basically it was to the point where she started coming to me and commenting on my pictures, and I was blocking her, and she kept coming back on access backup accounts and new accounts just to say something to me. And I was like, how petty can you be? Like, how petty can you possibly be to take that time out of your day and make endless accounts? She made like 6 accounts. She had 3 backups and made another 3 when I blocked her backups just to get at me. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you possibly doing with yourself? So anyway, she continued to harass me, and she was Asian. I'm not sure if she was from Busan or something like that, but she literally was like my followers were seeing she was talking about me, and they were showing me, and she was making a gigantic rant, endless tweets about me being disgusting, me being a rat, me being ugly, me being crazy to think I could date Jimin. And it got to the point where all of her friends started harassing me, and I literally was like, yo, I'm gonna roast this bitch crisply. So in my head I was thinking I was roasting her, so I started going in on her. I deleted the post because apparently well, I'll get to that. I started going in on her thinking like, I'm gonna make this bitch stop picking on me. And I told her she should open her chinky ass eyes and realize that if she would have just shut up and stayed in the DM, she would have got an explanation. I told her she should go to Seoul and get the free facial surgery to give you after college. And I told her, I was like, how are you Asian and my skin is clearer than yours? I mean, your mom should have taught, I know your mom taught you better cleansing routines. And when I said that, I was specifically pertaining to how Asians do have really good cleansing routines, and their skin is so good. So her skin, she had a lot of blemishes. So I was just like, you're calling me ugly and you're calling me all this endless shit, but my skin is better than yours. Pertaining to not having acne, not skin color, not just to having blemishes. Like, I don't have any blemishes, and so that's what I was like. I was just trying to roast her, since apparently I was so hideous to her. I looked like a rat or something. So instantly I started feeling bad because I was like, she doesn't have that many blemishes. And as I was deleting things and, editing, when you edit things on Instagram, the original post is still there until you continue, like, until you save the edit. So I didn't even get the chance. Everybody jumped at me, started saying I was racist, and all these Asians started jumping out saying they were so offended, and how dare I, and I'm a cunt, I'm disgusting, I'm foul, I'm all this endless crazy shit. And it's funny because it all stemmed back to Bangtan. It had nothing to do with the girl or specifically what I said. They were talking about me being specifically racist, but then they took it to Twitter and they literally direct tweeted Bangtan and told them that I'm this wet bird and I'm a delusional sasaeng, or whatever you want to call it, that the name for really crazy K-pop fans. And like, people were making tweets about me saying, oh, she's a delusional person, and she forgot that Jimin himself is Korean, and she continued to make racist slurs towards Koreans. And I was just like, and they were asking me, like, if you went on a date with Jimin, would you tell him to open his chinky ass eyes? And I was like, are you guys serious? Like, they really added BTS, and I was like, what are you doing? So I made an apology. I apologized to the girl. I typed 3 long ass apologies in 3 separate posts, and nobody gave a shit. I was just continued to be labeled as racist. So I kind of broke down and I self-harmed. I cut all of hair on my thigh, and I posted it as an apology because I felt like my apology wasn't enough. And I put that as an apology. People were saying I was triggering them and I'm disgusting, I need mental help, something's wrong with me. Then people were DMing me on Twitter because people started spreading the cutting picture on Twitter. People were telling me to cut deeper and I'm too depressing for Jimin, and the only way they'll see me in his arms is if he's strangling me to death. And I was just like, okay. Then people started looking stupid because they started coming to me and actually seeing my side, and they were actually like, oh, don't pay attention to the hate, don't, you just told me to kill myself, what are you doing? So pertaining to that, the drama and the hate has gotten so far that there's a website up about me right now. I think it's called Pretty Ugly Little Liars, I believe that's what it's called. And there's a giant thread about me being a sasaeng and a insane person, and literally everything about what I wanted to do with Jimin was on there. The letter I wanted to give him, and it was all on there, and they took it out of proportion and made it seem like oh my god, she wants to give herself to Jimin. Even me, I asked my parents if it was a crazy thing for me to want to date Jimin, and they even said, hey, you want to ask him on a date? That's not as creepy as I was assuming it would be. And I'm just like, if my fucking 20-something-year-old family members see nothing wrong with this, what is your issue, 13-year-old? So that gave me confidence to actually do it. And hey, I'm gonna go. I wanted to go to KCON this year, but I did not want to deal with A.R.M.Y. So I didn't go. I wasn't ready. I wasn't prepared. I wasn't ready to confront Jimin yet. I was too nervous. So I wanted to like change my plan. And apparently the letter that I wrote for him, I had it proofread by older people, and apparently the letter in general is really sweet, but it's too deep for someone I don't really know. Because, you know, I was putting my feelings out there, and of course with all the bullying, I just threw everything out there to, again, like, I wanted to get Jimin now. Like, I was just like, hey, I'll ask Jimin, I don't know what he'll say, but hey, it'll be a fun thing, it'll be a good experience for me. But now I'm just like, no, I want to get Jimin, just so I can rub it in you guys' faces. Like, not you guys, but them. Because I think for you to specifically take something like me liking Jimin so far out of hand to make a web page about me, spread it to people you don't even know, and portray me as this fan that'll sneak up in BTS's dorm and like rape them or some shit like that. And it's like random people just DM me like, what makes you think Jimin will like you? Do you regret liking Jimin now? It's like, no, I don't. Because you're a bitter bitch. That's it. You're bitter. Like, so what? Like, oh my god, you have to be Korean. So what? I'm a black girl and I like Jimin. What can you do about it? Can you change my ethnicity? I mean, it's ridiculousness. And, yeah, I just wanted to just get him and rub it in everyone's faces. So as I continued to think on, I was like, you know what? Because they were saying the letter, and it will make Jimin feel like he knows me from somewhere, and it'll fucking creep him out because of the fact that it's a really romantic letter, they said, but it's too romantic for someone I don't exactly know. There's nothing sexual. There was nothing, you know, just really deep, like K-pop drama type. A few people told me that it was a good romantic thing and write them stories and shit because they loved how deep and they love how I portray shit. So I just kind of kept the letter aside. I think I ripped it up, and my final conclusion was, if I was lucky enough, I'd confront Bangtan and I'd treat them to, like, you know, Dunkin' Donuts, or like, since it's summer, like a coffee, or like Starbucks. Treat them to, you know, like I said, some donuts. Take them to McDonald's, you know, take them to a convenience store, buy them ice cream, you know. Welcome them to America. Like, hey, welcome to LA, welcome to New York. Like, you know, as my welcome, because I feel like Bangtan does so much and they're getting so little. I feel like screaming fans is not enough to show Bangtan that they're doing a good job. So I felt like me going out of my way and actually treating them to something as nice as that would actually make them see, like, wow. And of course, yes, in the midst, I was going to try to confront Jimin and, you know, tell him how I felt. And hopefully, I was just hoping that, you know, he'd like me. I mean, I'm nothing special, I'm nothing extraordinary. I'm not, you know, your everyday Korean, like, gorgeous, you know. So, I mean, I was always looking forward to him saying no, but I was just doing it because a lot of people actually think I should do it, because they think that they say they can't see me and Jimin not communicating at all, whether it's dating or whether it's being long distance friends. They can't see us not clicking. They go to our zodiacs and they compare us, and apparently our zodiacs is like an 80% match with everything from like chemistry to romance to like intellect, and it's just on point apparently. So yeah, basically that's just my story time with A.R.M.Y. And yes, I do believe that they are crazy. And like I say, I know me posting about the drama, me posting my say-so on it, is not a good way to retaliate, because obviously it led to me being considered as a racist. But at the same time, I was so pissed off, I didn't know what to do. I tried to make new accounts, because when when don't people get bullied, right? So I tried to make new accounts. I tried to level down how I talk about Jimin. I tried to mention other members so they don't just label me as, hey, she just like Jimin. She doesn't care about any of the other members. And none of it worked. I deleted my post and tried to start over. But of course, it didn't happen. And I'm pretty sure the hate's gonna continue to go on until I see Jimin. And I'm so nervous about it because, like I said, I always knew he was gonna say no, but at the same time, you know, I was so nervous. Like, I didn't know what to do, so it was just like, hey, fuck it. Like, a lot of people look up to me. I don't know why, but they do, and I appreciate it very much because I don't need the hate. And I'm literally so frightened that if this shit gets around enough, Bangtan is gonna just look at me and assume that I'm what everyone is saying, and I'm not. They say I bully other armies and all this other crazy shit. I pretend like I'm the one for Jimin just because I make little mini Bangtan stories to get my emotions in check. Like, when I'm upset or when they're bullying me, I make little mini stories, like scenarios of me and Jimin dating, and people like it, so I continue to do it. But a lot of people don't really like it, so it's like, fuck you, and fuck you. So, pretty much like I said, that's it. Is ARMY crazy? Yes. A certain amount of ARMY fans are crazy. And the crazy ones are the ones who will literally tell you, you have to be an ARMY to listen to BTS. You have to be a Jimin stan to like Jimin. Jimin, I swear to God. So, if someone ever tells you some shit like that, fuck them, because that's not true. You do not have to call yourself an ARMY to fucking push play on your fucking phone. Like, hey, I like Bangtan. Like, what do you mean? I can press play right now. I can press play right. Okay, but anyway, you don't have to be an ARMY to press a fucking play button. I mean, what do you mean? What do you mean? How do you sound? You sound stupid. You sound really dumb to think some shit like that. The fuck? But, like I said, I'm just hoping shit goes well for me. Like I said, I'm not the hotness. I'm not the shit. And I don't want you guys to think that's what I'm portraying myself as. I'm just thinking that maybe my confidence will get me somewhere. Maybe Jimin would appreciate my confidence. Maybe my confidence would attract him. I don't know. But I will link my Instagram below if you want to talk to me. And if you want to hear more about this, I guess talk to me. Please do not drop any hate comments, because I swear, just dislike this video if you don't agree with it. Just don't drop any hate, because I no thanks. Because knowing me, if you do that, I'll just post about it on Instagram. And usually I'm known for passing out L's, so just don't do it. I'll make you look so bad. I promise. Not to sound like this shit, but again, I actually know what I'm talking about. So yes, I will make you look really bad. But yes.